So when we're talking about a relationship that is starting between two individuals who may come from very different contexts or very different backgrounds or different cultures, a key thing, of course, is to establish an effective mode of communication so that each party will be, one, able to express or explain himself or herself effectively. Two, to have the opportunity to learn about the other person and the other person's background effectively. So an important thing is to not assume that like we are the same or we have like enough in common because we're interested in each other, things will work out. I think the important thing is to not assume, but openly recognize that, okay, like we come from different contexts and backgrounds, and we shouldn't be surprised if we sometimes like believe in different things, or we do different things, or we look at things differently. And then open agreement about communication is important. So a lot of people, when they're coming from two different contexts, when they have cultural difference, there is a temptation for them to sort of like say things that are not disturbing or unacceptable to the other person. So we do not want to shock the other person. We do not want to make the other person uncomfortable. So if we think that like if I said that to him or her, he or she would not understand, or he or she would feel uncomfortable, so I better not show that aspect to herself. What will end up is like this person will not gain a full appreciation of who you are as a person. The other thing is, well, it is not a problem if the relationship is not going to last, and of course it doesn't matter. But if it is going to develop into sort of a more stable long-term relationship, that means certain important aspects of your life doesn't have its rightful space or place within that relationship. You have to like deny or put aside some important aspects of yourself in order to be in that relationship, which is not necessarily a great thing. So we are all for open communication, and then we may also want to do some expectation management. When you're in the beginning phase of relationship, you should be telling the other person, or you should be telling each other that, well, since we come from different cultures, there would be things that would surprise us. There would be things that would make one or both of us uncomfortable. There would be differences that may need substantial time to negotiate. There would be differences. And if we are not ready to that, or we get like put off by that, or we get turned off by this, once we run into this situation, we say, okay, like I'm out of here, this is not what I bargained for, then you're probably not the kind of person who should be involved in a cross-cultural relationship in the first place. So I think these kind of like readiness is important, so that we can actually be very upfront about differences. We allow ourselves the space to negotiate those differences. And one of the things that is important is for us to take a very active role to explain ourselves to others and to help them understand, help them appreciate the difference. And sometimes when there is a difference, it may be a difference in terms of format, but then the difference may not be a core conflict, meaning that our approach to things may look very different, but the core value may be highly compatible.
Professor Tsang has been studying interpersonal relationships for decades, and he has never stopped learning. In a sense, curiosity in the other person's culture and the willingness to learn can be a major ingredient of a successful cross-cultural relationship. SSLD is all about learning and development. Hope your learning will continue, and that someday you will have your valuable lessons to share with other people who may benefit from them.